ladies. How are you?
We are here to interview you for a little bit to ask you a few questions in general about your business and how you're handling this whole craziness. Tell us who you are and what you do and what you've been doing and all the good things.
So my name is David Riddell. I am the owner of Big Frog Custom T-Shirts. We are in Arden near Airport Road. We are the local apparel branding experts. I mean, quite simply, screen printing, embroidery, custom digital print, anywhere you would want your logo seen, because everywhere we go, you should have your logo on you, right? Whether it's on hats, jackets, etc. So in a retail setting, we get to have you come in and touch and feel things, try things on, design for free. We can do one, which is different. And we can do thousands. And so when you add free design and options of one and options of full color and options to see what the features and benefits and the cost are, it adds to things. So we've been open for 4 years next month. We're going to assume that we're going to make it to 4 because what we're going through is a little crazy right now. But yes, quite simply, any business group, club, school, nonprofit, church, or personal reasons. I mean, we can appeal to anybody from one shirt to thousands, wherever you would need a logo, your brand put on something, whether for fun or marketing.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we're really interested right now in just how are you pivoting? How are you adapting right now? What are you doing more online? Whatever that is, what changes have already happened in your business as you deal with this?
Yeah. And being a retail place, we're different than traditional screen printers in that we have more walk-in traffic. So that did stop, but designing and consultation you can do virtually. Now we are going to have to think about going forward. I mean, probably get put Zoom on the computer or some kind of thing. So if there are clients, because we don't know how long this is going to last, the lights are going to come back on and we're all going to go, some people a little more freer, but do you think that people are going to be cautious for 6 months or a year? Probably. And whereas somebody could call in and say, do you want this? And we design and email it back, or we talk about it on the phone, we might have to go a little bit more video and kind of walk around the store and I'll have a tablet for the store. We're in a temporary norm now. The new norm, we don't know. And that new norm may take on, just like in any business, how you adapt and change all the time, right? Any business who stays stagnant is in trouble. So what the new norm is when we open the doors, again, the lights come on in the country, and then what it is 3 months, 6 months, I don't know.
Right.
But remote's going to matter. What's hurt us now is we're event-based. So schools are done, and all of their spirit days, their field trips, their graduation, or nonprofits have postponed all of their things. So we don't have the big orders for now. We're working on smaller ones, whether it's an online store that has cute coronavirus things or coloring page things.
Did you have orders like that, really?
Yeah, I mean, our site's going to roll out Monday, and so we've got a couple different things. Some fundraising shirts, some for fun shirts, and one where the kids can draw whatever they want because they're sitting at home doing art class with their new teacher, their parents who don't want to them. God bless teachers. Give the kids back. But we're all sitting at home worried about how to pay bills as Americans, right? Because our businesses have stopped or we've been laid off or something. And then we have to teach the kids, and 6 or 8 hours a day. God bless teachers, right? So when they're already doing art and they can scan that in and they can send it back to us and we can do one-offs. And one-offs what they do for us is there's somebody and there's some awareness, right? And again, anything, but we are also doing in Henderson County, because we're on the line between the two and have clients in many, but just like in Buncombe, there's a One Buncombe initiative where you can donate and help small businesses. In Hendersonville, it's called #LoveHendo, and the chamber asked me to do shirts, and so I'm doing shirts with the money going back to some to be determined thing, and so that's what I mean. Right before we started, I had to run to the door. Today, I'm at the store just for pickups. People coming, front doors open. Here's your stuff. Go, right. Keep social distancing, but that's what we have to try. We have to try to, we print on demand. And so for us to do something that would resonate where we have them ready to make. I mean, we can still print on demand, but we've never done designs. Like somebody comes in saying, do you have an Asheville shirt? Well, what do you want it to be, right? We've never made them ready to print. But in a coronavirus one, now we will. Okay, here's a couple of cute ones, and if you want it, then we just take the shirt and we print it. So we're going to have to think about how to do that. But our world revolves around events. And when will events continue? You hope by school next year it will. Nonprofits have to go on. Businesses will need marketing, but at which point do they bring back their people, and do they resume? Right.
After all this, when the lights go on again, would you do anything different to be prepared for something like this in the future? Not that it would, but in a situation where your business could get affected for whatever, would you have a kind of plan B in place? Would you do things differently altogether, where we can have different streams?
Think about somebody who works on just tips or just commission. And a lot of people live week to week and day to day and month to month. There's no way to prepare for this. And I'd love to say, I'll put more away. But in our business,
that's not going to happen.
December through February is the slow season. Right. So if there's no good time for a global pandemic, but if August, I would have more money than coming out of our slow
It should have happened in August, not today.
Right. And so I think, to that, we've done a lot of remote stuff, but I think having the ability to do what we're doing here is the way the future is going to go with everybody. And you'll find out that what could have been what people in companies called meetings, everybody grouped together for 2 hours to sit in a room, could be an email or a video chat or something. But I think, the clients have to be broader. You have to have a source. Like if I just said school shut me down, well, what happens if I don't have schools? Look, right? So diversity in client mix, I think everybody's going to look at. Where is it coming from? Like for us, it's now the trades are still working, the medical's still working, so we reach out to them. But it's knowing your client base and keeping a diverse enough client base, because with anything, if you have 5 great clients and they're holding you up and you lose them, what are you going to do? So it works the same way in genre based, right? It's like, I don't want to lose one genre and it paralyzes us.
Well, and the reason too why I asked that is because there's so many things that happen without being out of, like, that it's really not in our control. You can do the things that are in your hands and in your surroundings, and you have control over that. But I don't know, tomorrow, our wackadoo president decides that, he will just steal away all our money and go away, which again, it has happened in my country. I'm not from here. So what if something like that would happen? Would you have in mind not that you would think about it now, but it would be nice to have different exits in how your business and how your life would work, instead of just staying comfortable in what you already do.
But how many people will say, they didn't have a will and they passed away on the spot? So that can happen personally.
Oh, yeah.
The last discussion I had with my family was not good and something happened, right? Or your house burned down and everything in it was. So this isn't just in a business. This is in life.
Yeah, totally.
To make us realize what we have, right? That, we're still, even if we lose a business, we lose a job, we lose whatever we're going to lose, because everybody's losing something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Nobody winning this entire thing. And so what do you take stake in, right? Wow, I'm still married, or wow, my kids are healthy, or wow, I didn't lose my house, or I can still eat even if I've changed my habit from eating out all the time to wow, peanut butter tastes good again. There's a lot of decisions.
Peanut butter, it's so yummy.
Peanut butter, it's America, baby. But in business, it's take stake in what I have, and what I know I have is a great network. In a group of frogs is called an army. So I have an army. Chamber people, business people. I met you a couple years ago, and it's like, even if they aren't direct clients, like in any, indirect or support or somebody to call, I mean, it's nice to know that you have an infrastructure that if the lights come back on in May, it might take me until August, but it's not going to take me until next year because people know who I am. So the blessings in this are we did enough legwork. We aren't 3 months in, nor are we a business that just kind of, oh, we got some orders. No, we've done a bunch for the community. We've given back for 4 years of my time, of money, of product, and you hope that people remember you through that. And now is not the time to sell. Now is the time to continue to say we're all in this together. But come out the other side, we're thankful for making it this far, having a network and an army, and we'll get there. Just there's a lot of cutting and I'm looking at do I necessarily need this, right? Going back through the bills or back through the marketing strategy, kind of for the new norm or the next or whatever it is.
So you have done a great job of building your brand, building your network. What are some things you've learned in that process outside of this virus and, that other people can learn from? Because I think something you said earlier, if you're not always innovating or strategizing or looking for the holes or looking how to get stronger, you can't survive things like this. And we're going to see some businesses are going to rise to the top and be able to survive this because they have these building blocks in place. So what are some of those for you?
Well, I've given some seminars. Relationship marketing is what we call it, because if from day one I've said nobody cares that I'm in business, right? Because you can buy shirts on the internet. There's 40 screen printers. There's a bunch of ladies with an Etsy account. So what would he do? There's a Big Frog. I don't even know what a Big Frog is. I don't know what a custom shirt is. And where can I get it cheaper? Where can I get it faster? Where can I bigger, better, stronger? So from day one, it became what's our differential, right? That's the number one thing in business. And if something happened to me, then nobody would say, oh, he was just the owner of, right? You hear when people, something happens to somebody, if all they had was what they did, like, oh, okay, yeah, he owned that store. No, you want to be defined for more than that. And when I am, then the store is. So it became, don't assume, don't take for granted. I remember my second, 1 year I got this massive order, and the next year I was not going to get it, right? It wasn't anything we did wrong. It was just a one-off massive order. And so I went into the month like $10,000 down because I wasn't going to get it. And we still beat the month. Why? Because we didn't put all of our eggs in one basket, right? I talked about diversifying earlier, but we became known for more than shirts. Yes, we gave out shirts and we've given out some money, and I'm involved everywhere. And so I didn't just try to just go about it and hope that it'll come. It took a lot of hustle, a lot of community. I like to talk, but I get to know everybody and understand and put together the pieces and be a connector, right? If you're something more in the community than the what you do in the store, then it helps you grow and helps you in the long run.
Right.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a big part of that people don't see when they're like, oh, well, I went to that thing once. I'm like, no, you got to show up and you got to continue on showing up. That's how they know you're really like committed to being around with the rest of us.
My ribbon cutting. Yeah, my ribbon cutting 6 months after we opened had 350 people in the parking lot, and it was
it was super fun. Yeah, I think I was.
We had nonprofits set up and businesses set up and cheerleaders and free food. And somebody said to me, "Why are you taking the focus off of you?" I said, "It's not. We are community." Right. And every July, and I assume we're going to do it again this July through Fletcher Area Business.
It's super fun.
Hosted after hours, and it's been up against the another chamber after hours, and we've doubled their attendance, and we're not serving alcohol like many of those. I mean, we have people show up. Why? Because it becomes fun, because it's a gathering place for resources. You're finding your next vendor, your next client, your next referral source, and it's out in my parking lot. Very few people came inside, but it was here, and the success became, although I'm a small business, there are sole entrepreneurs that have no home, right? It's out of their car. It's like you guys probably were before the art studio. It's like, okay, you are who you are, and you do it all on the internet, and you go where you need to go. So we're taking 10 or 12 of those businesses that are just, and here, display yourself in the parking lot. So it's the community thing to do. That's in this area, great. If we were talking Charlotte, Atlanta, maybe it's not the same method, but in Western North Carolina, if you aren't community, if you aren't something more than the product you sell, it's a long road.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of talking too about like your personal brand. We work with a lot of entrepreneurs that don't want to be the face of their business or don't want to be out there pushing their product or service. And you have to have, your individual connections with people and show that you're really part of the community, and always looking for more ways to collaborate. And just these interviews we're doing, we just want to talk to people and see how they're doing and how they're navigating it all. And, there's going to be wisdom that comes out of that for sure. And we're all going to be reflecting on how to make stronger brands and stronger businesses and then stronger communities and connections.
And there are places, hairdressers and nail salons and gyms that they kind of open in every community and don't need as much. The human interaction becomes inside. They don't go out and build the community, but that's what that becomes the right positioning, right? And it's like the small niche markets. But how many of each of us are there? I mentioned how many of you, how many designers and marketers or website developers and all of these meetings that I know Julietta and I have been to, she's been to with me. And it's like, how many photographers and how many. So it is distinguishing factor, and it is nice that it be the owner that be the face. It doesn't have to be, and it doesn't always have to be in person. You can still stand for something quietly or without leaving your thing. It just depends on how you do it, but it is true to what you said, Chandra, that you do nothing, then it's harder. This is still a shaking hands community. Generations live here, right? Small community.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with that note, what we'll do is, do you have any kind of, to close it off and leave you, any kind of, it's like, fine. Do you have any kind of thought or idea on how some other businesses could navigate going through this? Or should they go back to normal if something is not working out for them? Should they change? Is that now the time?
I think the first thing, we have nothing but time, unfortunately. So we never have time to stop and figure out. Now, unfortunately, we do. So you can run every number, run every plan. And I was on another call yesterday that said, this is the time to put together your new marketing plan. Some people don't. Some people don't write a business plan every year, or it's kind of a makeshift one. So reflect on what has happened, reflect on where you want to be, see what you can cut, and stay visible. And I know that they say don't cut marketing. Like Google AdWords cost me a lot of money. So does constant contact in Facebook. And some of those I can't really do. But still being on Facebook, not selling anything, but supporting the communities and saying keep community moving, or great job, or sharing, like comment and share has always been the freest way, and reviews to help somebody. That more than ever, we're all hurting. So stay visible as best possible, but take time to reflect. And so as we're all going, wait, how are we going to pay our personal bills if our professional bills, if there's no money coming in? Well, it helps you realize how much of this country has lived, holy cow, right? And some of that's just the cost of living and the nature of the beast, but there's a lot of it that is, wait, we could have done this better. We don't need this in our life. And
Totally.
yeah, and so you said, what does somebody need to do? I think that's industry by industry, owner to owner, community by community.
But yeah, and I think what you said, just staying present and just not panic and go into the abyss. I'm like, oh no, we're just done.
Don't hibernate.
No, stay. It's okay. It'll be okay.
It's easy to hibernate because they want you to, but this world that we're in, we're still waving and we're still here. What a new world. If this happened 10 years ago, I don't know if anybody could see each other smiling.
Right. Oh my God.
To send you a photograph, right?
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And, we're hoping that this probably would have helped somebody. So
well, glad you ladies are doing this. This is exactly what you said. It costing nobody anything. And yes, you let me talk about what I did, but we're not selling anything. We're selling the idea of we're all here together and we've got to get through it, because there's no business if we don't get through this.
Should we hold hands? Should we hold hands? Should hold the hands.
There's no living if you don't make it through this. So how about we make it through this and then we'll worry about what's on the other side.
Hell yeah. Yep. That's it. Well, thank you.